Okay, Sunday, October 22nd, 2023. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the whole orchard. Bartlett pear, I just planted that one and that one. And I'm going to do a walkthrough of the whole orchard. I'm going to go all the way back through there. I'm going to swoop around the back side of the apartment to the back side of the house and come up and end about right there. So I'm starting out here at the end of my driveway. Well, this part, so the end of the driveway actually goes way up there to the mailbox through all those trees, a bunch of my box trucks and stuff up there, and then back here. So, and I'll turn around once I get back down past the bulldozer so you can look back and see this way where I'm standing now. So these are my, let's see, there's a row of chestnut trees and some mulberries I planted in right down along this back row, but these are all figs. I think I counted 125 in ground, and then there's about 60 different varieties. And then I have plum trees that'll be planted all the way along the front. These 8 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 are all different varieties, and then I have 8 over there of Santa Rosa plums. And after watching David the Good's YouTube channel, I've figured out how I'm pruning all of these. I think I'll come in here and cut, like, I don't know, maybe that whole top off right there. Maybe just this top part. I'm going to do some heavy pruning on these this winter because these are all bare rooted, planted this past spring, and they're jamming. They're doing great. So that's the plums. But as far as the figs, these were all twigs that I rooted over this past winter. So the winter of 2022 into 2023. And then they all developed roots. I planted them all out April, May, June, I guess, this year. And I've been getting figs. Let's see, an Ischia green that's split right here, but this is still the first. There's another one that's split. I didn't even see those. They're ripening. This is the first year, so I probably got 6 or 7 off of this yellow long neck right there. And I'm squatted down, so it looks taller than it is. And I actually gave a yellow long neck off of this tree to a guy that helped me do some tractor work way earlier this year, and he came back yesterday and did some tractor work, so I gave him that. On October 22nd, you're eating a fresh fig off the trees still. These are all, that's just impressive, right? All doing great. There's like a failed air layer on that one, but I got a lot of my air layers out here did well. There's a Sicilian toffle. There was another really good looking one on there, and there is a possum that's been coming out that'll eat the figs. But I've already had, like I said, a bunch of figs off of these other trees, so I'm not going to put a bag or anything on that. But, oh yeah, look, I got everything mulched since my last update video, so it's pretty impressive. There's one of the mulberries, there's one. Looks like all the leaves fell off of it already. And this chestnut died here, but I still have several of these Dunstan chestnuts planted, which I'm thinking about maybe moving them because I just in the future don't want the birds falling all down in here. Anyways, so so this is the second part of the orchard of figs that I planted. The first part is over there. This was the second part, all of this that I just showed you. And then the third part is way down there past that curve where I'm pointing. So I'm walking that way. You can see where I'm at. There's my little tractor. I don't know if I've showed that on the videos yet, but good damn tractor. A Yanmar 2000 BD. Anyways, look how nice these trees are looking. Right? This is a Pinehurst Noir. And then I've got some native persimmons that I let live in here that I've left. That's a sassafras I left living. But then a little oak. Here's another native persimmon that's just gonna live in here because I planted one so far, Fuyu persimmon, and those native persimmons will just act as a pollinator. And I'll add some more on this. Let's see. This plum tree broke off with the wind earlier this summer, and the rootstock is shooting back a bunch of growth, which I'll let grow, and then I'm going to practice grafting some of those varieties down there on the other side of the bulldozer onto these rootstock shoots that come up. So we'll see about that. So more figs, looking great, coming on down. So you can see kind of the back side of the house in my apartment, and coming through like this. All sorts, like I said, about 60 different varieties of figs up here. It'll be I'm very curious to see how they're going to do in the springtime, like if everybody wakes up and makes it through the winter. Then I planted a couple pomegranates. This one's a wonderful, and it's actually doing the best. This one died off. This one lived. Kazaki. Anyways, fade. Some more mulch that I gotta get to spreading. Told him I wanted 5 more right here on this same spot, so he dumped them all here. One tree trimming company here in Pinehurst, and I think he's out of Carthage, North Carolina. But anyways, this is back all the way over there is where we're gonna wind up. Well, I'll show you the front of the house, but I want to show you what my plans are for back there, because that's where the tractor work just happened. That little fig died. Let's see, this pomegranate, that pomegranate also died. This one did too. This one lived. So it looks like I've got 3 of these pomegranates left, and this one is another Kazaki. So Kazaki and wonderful. Fig. This, so starting right over there by that blue chair, somewhere in that area by the pomegranates where they started, is the 3rd zone that I planted. So I went, that middle was all the first stuff, over there was second, and then all these are smaller because it was like getting into the summer, and I then decided that I'd go ahead and plant them all anyway. So, and they're fine. They've thrived. They're all taking off, getting their roots established. The roots are coming way out into these mulch rings. Like well, some of this mulch is newer than other. These roots, I feel roots holding on right here. So that's 8 inches or so from the base of the tree right there. Yeah, I'm feeling roots down in there holding the mulch. So I'm sure the roots come out even further and are gonna keep going further. I know that's a JH Adriatic, Black Madeira, and a I-258. Then I've got another I-258 and another Black Madeira. Somehow one of these right here, like doubled them up. Okay, all right, so we're at the end of the figs. Looking all the way back past the bulldozer and the truck you can see down there. That is 300 feet, I think, from here to there, 1,000 yards, or 100 yards. So now I'm not going to do the back loop, which is this part. It just goes around this cluster of trees. I'm going to take this one as the back loop. I might plant more screening bushes on. Coming down like this. See where I'm walking backwards now, so you can see where I'm coming from. All right, I'm going down through the trail. This is where I was sitting out here eating some chips and salsa earlier. This is my little shooting range right here that gets moved around, but I'm gonna make that way cooler. And then you can see my screening trees, arborvitaes, and then I've got Elaeagnus back behind them. There's another one right here. Then I came in this morning and I put this here, I put bricks around this magnolia and some more mulch. And then I planted these 3 lagustrums like this. So that then you got the arborvitaes and then a little Elaeagnus back behind them, because there's the back of the apartment and the house, and they're going to be building stuff back in that clearing up there. So I wanted to have a real nice thick block here, and I'm going to keep thickening it up in places. But so you see where I'm at. Let's see. Walking back here. Oh, and that's the dumpster shed. I'm going to throw all that stuff away that's in there. I'm not going to utilize any of those old doors and windows now. And I'm going to put the dumpster over here behind the shooting range. Actually put it there and then turn my angle of the shooting range like this. Take out a few of these pine trees and pile that dirt up, so I'll have like a real nice range to shoot with the dumpster as a just in case backstop back behind it. But anyways, all right. More screening bushes down this side, and we're walking into the back side of the garden, which is the back side. So all the windows and doors are done. Got to paint around that sliding glass door there, all that trim, and put that left side piece of trim up still. And you can see what looks like my raised beds there in front of it. Once all the wintertime hits, I'll clean all that up, mulch all this area where we're standing and down through here. And then, well, all of that zone down here I'm about to show you, between here and the pond, is going to be pawpaws, all that shaded stuff, pawpaw trees. But first, I'm going to walk down there in a second. I want to show you what I have here in all of these beds, or all of these pots. It was going to be a garden, and then a Cody Dom block from Val. There you go, shout out. That pack house I just got at the Figapalooza, Malcolm, out there at your place. Let's see. Fades. I had some peppers and tomatoes in these pots full of compost and mulch. And then I started pulling those out and putting figs in, just because it was easier to plant them in here. Like later in the year, it's just been easier just to put them in here, because I really don't have any other spots open and ready up there in the orchard. So I just started slapping them in here. Now I've got this this going on. So we'll see about that. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But this is all gonna get mulched out here, so maybe I'll drag them out here and space them out nicely. And then I'll have the raised beds right up against the house, all mulched around them and planted with just, you know, vegetables and stuff. Right outside the back door, I can come out into my garden, and then this little fruit orchard will continue back up around the hill and then back up on that side, that all the way over, you know, at the base of those trees actually that I'm pointing at. But this is where I pointed at earlier, where the tractor work had just gotten done. This is all now nice and finished. Now the rain will make a gully right down through here, but I want to go and get it all mulched in before then, because this is where the pawpaw orchard is going to start, down here close to the pond, in a bunch of shade. Once these pawpaw trees get up and established, then I can come through and thin out some of these trees, or just thin the trees themselves out, and then it'll open up these pawpaws to a whole bunch more sunlight when it's time to start producing. So I've got, I mean, there's a lot of room between here all the way to about where that inner tube is where I'm thinking about putting the pawpaw grove. So it's gonna be a big long pawpaw grove, comes all the way down, and then we're like right here at the raised beds. This side of the house, which I haven't shown yet, that's gonna be the bathroom window in the primary bedroom, the bedroom window, and then a door, all for the primary bedroom right there. That's this whole wing of the house. Then there's a sliding glass door for the living room, and then that far window is for an extra bedroom. The kids' room is what we're calling it. And then you see the apartment in the back over there. Crawl space door. There's one on the other side. See my extensive gutter drain pipes coming from the apartment, the whole house, the tool shed on the other side. Even that section, all of it comes all the way down, out through here. And I'm just trying to shooting out onto this piece of tin for now, shooting out into the pond. Okay. You can see my neighbor. One neighbor I share the pond with, that's his Doc, and he's working on a fence over there because his dog, now that the pond is so low this time of year, his dog jumped down onto the pond level and ran over here the other night when it was raining, and was playing with my dog on the porch. So I'm making my way. This is the front yard, which will be like the shade garden, pretty flowers and stuff like that, because there's plenty of sunlight, but not really the shade garden. There's a bunch of shade up here, but more flowers. But we'll get to this once I move into the house. Then I'll start focusing up here in the front yard, but not right now. There's my giant kitchen window I put in, glass door, other glass, sliding glass door pane that I made a window out of. Then another bedroom window and a window in the closet for some reason for the primary bedroom. And this door is like mom's or the guest suite over here on this side that's finished already. On top of having the apartment in the back, this will be a whole nother guest room, or what we can call a den. And then the carport, which I'll have nice and cleaned up before Thanksgiving, because we'll set the tent back up and do a great big Thanksgiving outside again this year. But next year, 2024, we will be eating inside the house when it'll be finished. But we'll do all the cooking at everyone else's houses in the apartment, also in the apartment, and then bring everything out to the carport and have the big tent and table out here again for Thanksgiving this year. So, which is fine. I'll have this cleaned all back up. And then, let's see where I'm at now. The end of the house, back side of the bulldozer. The apartment stops like right over there on the other side of the house. Coming up and around. I've still got to figure out what to do with all of this terrain I'm walking on. Oh, and one last thing. The tractor trailer, I'm gonna turn it right here on the other side of these trees, between the trees and the camper. I'm gonna turn it long ways, build an overhang off of it, and then put some rabbit pens on this side. Because we adopted one rabbit that our dog brought us, and brought us a little baby rabbit. There's one of our cats, Toast. The dog brought up a baby rabbit from one of the neighbors up there in the trailer park, a little black bunny rabbit. And I've been using his been putting mulch in the bottom of his pen, and then he's pooping and peeing on them wood chips. Now I'm putting them in a bucket, carrying them up here, and putting a bucket load of that wood chip mixed with a little bit of his straw and then a whole bunch of his poop and pee. I'm putting it around one lucky tree at a time, like this, and just letting, you know, I might throw some more mulch on top, but letting the worms, see, you can see where I had it here before, like another time, and on that one another time. You see all that's the bedding, poop, and mulch. And I think it'll make like a little worm area there around each fig tree, fruit tree, and then any of the screening bushes that I'm putting around the edges. And there's a bunch of wild blueberries here that I'm thinking about mulching around them. You know, put like logs around them with some mulch, and then hitting them with this rabbit manure. You know, so the point is, once the trailer's turned, then I'll build a rabbit coop off to the side, have a bunch of different rabbit pens, maybe breed them a little bit, but really just to get the buckets of manure for all of these trees that I have out here. Because I went and bought one of those bags of organic, you know, like a holly tone or whatever. And I'm way out there in the woods throwing that stuff in the woods, like around trees, and I feel so dumb. So I'm like, I gotta find a better way, and that's the better way. Rabbits, having rabbits. I can just take buckets of their manure, boom, 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 around every tree, and keep it going. Because even, like, that's where I started the video, and I said something about my driveway, but even right there, I have screening trees, and I'm planting even more down through there. So, I mean, I'm gonna need that poop. And then I got these chestnuts that I'll be planting this winter time. 3 different varieties. Then I probably got hundreds of other chestnuts right now I'm stratifying, so those are gonna go up and down the driveway. I'm gonna be thinning some trees down through the driveway and planting these while they're young, and then as they get older, thin a couple more trees and let them take off. And that's it. That's all the plans for now. I mean, so far. Oh, once I move the trailer in line with the campers, I've got the stacked privacy fence back here. I'm gonna put privacy fence around the camper and the trailer, and face the trailer that opening that way actually. Privacy fence, clean all this mess up, hopefully before Thanksgiving, and then move this truck. So all you're gonna see is this little shed, and then some privacy fence. And then it'll look, and then like the rabbit pens will come off that side with a nice little overhang, and it'll look real ship shape out here. So I'm gonna walk all the way back to where I started the video, and that's gonna be the end of this. I just wanted to give an update for my own personal sake, but plus now that I have 88 followers on YouTube and my most viewed video has 3.2 thousand views, I'm very, very proud of myself, and I'm you know, I'm gonna make, that's enough motivation to keep up with these updates, and then I'm enjoying going back and watching my own videos. So this will be somewhere I can look back next October, you know, and see how far it's come. Anyways, did I say these were Bartlett pears? These two I'm planning on, I've already got several other pears in my cart for Willis Orchard to go ahead and get in ground now, some pears, because, you know, they may take a couple of years, but I really I want to can up a bunch of pears like my grandma used to do. She used to have cans of like canned pears like at every meal, and it was these Bartlett pears, which is a real hard pear, but it's made for, or it's really useful to can, or good for canning, because they soften up once you can them, but they don't turn into mush. So anyways, that's that. I could keep going, and I kind of want to, but that's that. All right, take care.